The Democratic National Committee has filed a lawsuit on Friday alleging that the Trump campaign, Wikileaks, and Russia conspired, colluded to defeat Hillary Clinton, thus alleging that the democracy was stolen and that these three pieces, these three entities, worked together to defeat Hillary Clinton. Tom Perez wrote an op-ed in Medium.com where he lays out this story. He says, and now we think we have what we need to bring this lawsuit that will, it's a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, by the way, saying that the DNC was damaged by Trump and WikiLeaks in Russia. I want you to let that sink in for a minute. Because, see, the DNC, which is I'll just say this, the Mueller investigation was supposedly to uncover this alleged thievery, the stealing of our democracy by Russia. And as of now, there has been no proof, no evidence that that is what happened. But okay, you want to sue Russia because they had some Facebook ads. Somebody made some dank memes. And somehow that swayed the election. This swayed the election that we had Facebook ads by like 13 Russians with tiny budgets in comparison to all other ads. And we found out from Facebook, from the Facebook sales, platform sales VP, don't quote me on the title, but a Facebook representative in upper management says that the majority of the Facebook ads that the DNC and that the Mueller investigation uncovered that were disruptive, not necessarily Hillary supportive or Trump supportive or Bernie supportive, but disruptive, a majority of them ran after the election. Is this a frivolous lawsuit just to get attention to the DNC as a sort of campaigning, sort of a campaign pillar to help promote the DNC? It sure smells like one, folks. It sure smells like one. The Democratic Party sues Russia, Trump campaign, and WikiLeaks, alleging 2016 campaign conspiracy. They're alleging that WikiLeaks, by publishing these emails, that WikiLeaks worked with Trump and worked with Russia. WikiLeaks did journalistic work of publishing facts. There has been no proof given at all in the Mueller investigation or investigations before. The House Intelligence Committee. No one has proven that WikiLeaks hacked anything. We have problems in this country, major issues in this country, and instead of the DNC focusing on those issues so that they can win an election, what they're doing is they want to relitigate the election, make no self-diagnosis, do no looking in the mirror and say, what did we do wrong? Well, let's just see. Before we get to some of the rebuttals to the lawsuit, let's listen to what the people, what WikiLeaks had to say about this lawsuit. WikiLeaks put out this. They said, the Democrats are suing WikiLeaks and Julian Assange for revealing how the DNC rigged the Democratic primaries. Help us counter-sue. We've never lost a publishing case, and discovery is going to be amazing fun. You get what I'm saying? It's going to be amazing fun. This is going to be a good time. Then they provide you a link where you can donate to WikiLeaks to defend themselves and counter-sue. Do you see what the DNC has done here? Do you realize that the Democratic National Committee has this disease? I call it foot-in-mouth disease. They put their foot in their mouth on a repeated basis. So I'm sure that Donald Trump is worried about this. Him and his campaign are concerned. They're like, oh no, we're being sued. We're being sued by the DNC. What can we do? Oh no, oh no. Trump sees good news in the DNC lawsuit. Trump's laughing. He's laughing. The Democratic committees, New lawsuit could potentially be good news, President Trump declared Friday evening, referring to what could have been an opening to an organization's server. The positive outlook came in response to the DNC suing the Trump campaign, Russia, and Wikileaks earlier in the day. Here's a tweet sent out by Donald Trump. He says, "I just heard the campaign was sued by the obstructionist Democrats. This can be good news in that we will now counter for the DNC server that they refused to give the FBI. The Debbie Wasserman Schultz server and documents held by the Pakistani mystery man and Clinton emails." Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, now we get to look at these servers. See, look, here's the thing. The Democratic Party never turned over their servers to the FBI. They were never examined by the FBI. If you say, hey, I've been robbed, and you never go to the police, the FBI is the equivalent of the police in this situation. If you say, I've been robbed, somebody came in and they stole all my stuff, and they tampered with my stuff, and they put it out, you call the police, right? That's what you do. You call the police. The DNC did not call the police. They called a private company. Had a private company come in and look at their servers. They did not release their servers to the FBI. The DNC, what they did in not turning over their service to the FBI was the equivalent of a drug dealer who gets robbed. Drug dealer can't call the police. Drug dealer got to call his homies and say, hey, homie, I got robbed. Because the drug dealer is doing illegal activity or activity they don't want to be seen by the masses. They cannot report it to the proper authorities. That's the reason why. Come on now, work with me, guys. That's the reason why the DNC never contacted the FBI and handed over their servers. Because they couldn't do it. Some of us were born at night, but we weren't born last night. We recognize game. I don't care where you're from. Come on, guys. If you're from Kentucky, right? From rural Kentucky, you understand what I'm saying. If you're making moonshine and somebody comes and steals your moonshine, you can't call up the local sheriff and say, hey, sheriff, someone stole my moonshine that I have no license or no legal ability or authority to be producing. That's what the DNC did. But they want to piss on our heads and tell us that it is raining. We know it ain't raining. That's urine, folks. That's what that is. So we have Wikileaks not shaking in their boots at all, not scared at all, raising money to countersue, looking forward to the discovery process. We have Donald Trump, same deal. Doesn't appear to be upset, doesn't appear to be worried at all, looking forward to it. Will probably help him in 2020 if he can further discredit the DNC. They just keep giving it a gift that keeps giving because they're megalomaniacs worried about themselves. They should be focusing on unions, workers, unions' rights. They should be focusing on legalizing cannabis like they said they are. They should be focusing on covering more people with health insurance, moving towards universal health care. They should be focusing on big ideas, whether you agree with them or disagree with them, folks, whoever you are. The Democratic Party should be focusing on big ideas that pull people in, that bring them back to the party, because a massive amount of people have exited. You know, when we start looking at the entire 2016 election, as we look back at it, remember, folks, a lot of money was spent. A lot of time, a lot of money was spent. Hillary Clinton had every advantage in the world to defeat Donald Trump. She had, everyone says, Hillary Clinton is the most experienced candidate in the history of presidential candidates. But yet she lost to Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton had outspent Donald Trump 2-1. 2-1. Hillary blew it against Donald Trump. The DNC blew it against Donald Trump. They blew it like a leaf blower, like a snow blower, and like Stormy Daniels' love scene. They blew it. Now, yes, Trump did receive $5 billion worth of free media. $5 billion worth of free media. That's what closed the gap. That's really what took this election away from Hillary Clinton. So, in my opinion, DNC, if you really want to go after someone and say, hey, you're the reason why we lost the election, you are the one who did not act in good faith, you should be going after corporate media. You should be going after MSNBC, CNN, ABC, the entire corporate media apparatus that gave Donald Trump $5 billion worth of free publicity. But you can't do that. You won't do that because they are your buddies. They are your pals, so you can't do that. Corporate media loves the DNC. This is a stinker for the DNC. This is a stinker for the Democratic Party. And the reason is very simple, because the most vocal people who still consider the possibility of voting Democrat are progressive-minded folks, are the young people, are the people who are activists, diehards, people who are concerned about the issues. And to those people, they remember what happened in the 2016 primaries. And we remember how you boo-hooed, how you dissed and dismissed the DNC fraud lawsuit, which was a look at the primaries. Because in the primaries, we know what happened. We know that Bernie Sanders did not get the respect, the treatment, and was the Bush League sabotage practices of the DNC, who anointed Hillary Clinton, never gave Bernie Sanders the opportunity, even in states where Bernie Sanders won, where Bernie Sanders overwhelmingly won the primary, the super delegates, which are the cronies if you don't know, because they don't have it in the Republican Party. The Republican Party and the Green Party does not have super delegates. They don't have a super delegate system. So these are the insiders, the vice chairs, the chairs and vice chairs, the senators and the movers and shakers in Democratic circles. These are the people who have been selected, not elected, selected to be superdelegates. These people did not do the will of the people. These superdelegates, they went in states like New Hampshire, where Bernie Sanders overwhelmingly defeated Hillary Clinton. They still voted for, they still voted for Hillary Clinton. States like Minnesota, where Bernie Sanders overwhelmingly defeated Hillary Clinton, the superdelegates still voted for Hillary Clinton. The Democrats can't get out of their own way. They are repeatedly kicking themselves in the butt. They are one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. And this confirms it. This is it, man. This is it. Look, they're not going to focus on issues that matter to the American people. The people, by and large, have either tuned out from the Russia investigation a long time ago, or they never paid attention to begin with. And now here we go with this again. This case will more than likely be dismissed with no basis for validity. But what it will do is further sour those people to the Democratic Party. If you cannot produce a smoking gun, if you cannot produce evidence that Donald Trump worked with the Russians and worked with Wikileaks to destroy Hillary Clinton, why is it that we have emails, the actual words said from the DNC operatives' mouths that were damaging to the DNC? Why do we have that? We don't have the actual words of Donald Trump and the Russians and Wikileaks. Why don't we have their words that are damaging, where they are colluding? Like, yes, Putin, let's destroy Hillary. Yes, destroy Hillary. Yes, Julian, can we destroy Hillary? Yes, let's all do it. Let's all destroy. Why don't we have that? We have that from the DNC in their conversations about Hillary and about Bernie Sanders. That we do have. We have actual emails from the DNC to themselves, internal emails where they're discussing, talking to the media, getting the media to spin narratives that help Hillary Clinton. We don't have the opposite. We don't have emails from Donald Trump to the Wall Street Journal or to the New York Times or the Washington Post telling them what to print negatively about Hillary Clinton. It's because it didn't exist. It does not exist. What we have are butthurt Democratic operatives, Democratic elites, neoconservatives and neoliberals who are warlike people, who are not fighting for the working man, whose priorities have always been big business, maintaining the status quo, never, ever focusing on the real issues that affect working people who live paycheck to paycheck, who haven't had a raise in the last 7 years, but rather focus on the damn election that they lost, though they outspent Trump 2-1, though they had the corporate media at their beck and call doing whatever they chose, doing their bidding, like robots, like artificial intelligence had these writers at these newspapers, and the Rachel Maddows and the Joy Reids and the Keith Olbermanns and the Chris Hayes and George Stephanopoulos and Don Lemon, and the list goes on. The Democratic Party is beyond any self-reflection, any self-awareness. I put out a tweet actually, to Tom Perez and Keith Ellison. Tom Perez, DNC chair. Keith Ellison, DNC sub-chair, vice chair. Asking, hey, one of you guys come on and explain to us, voters, explain to the voters why we should care about this, and why is it that your priority is your ego and not the people. I'm Tim Black. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. And like I always say, don't let nobody take your cornbread. And believe me, this right here, this lawsuit, this is cornbread takeage all the way.